I'm having my birthday present, which is very generously got for me. What I hope is great expense, because it's all going towards Vulcan, by EMI Records, is the record company for Iron Maiden. So they got me a birthday present, little knowing that I was a big fan of Vulcan, actually. So strange piece of synchronicity there. So they told me that they'd got me a present that involved flying with an aeroplane which was called and they went, have you heard of an aeroplane called a Vulcan? And I went, somewhat. So flying with the blades in formation with it very short. Well, yeah, I mean, I keep my single engine and my light aircraft ratings valid, so yes, I could fly an extra, yes, absolutely. In fact, I may have a go in one of these later on, if the boss in the back is amenable.
What about aerobatics? Is it something you'd like to do?
Yeah, it's something that it's kind of on my wish list of things to do, things to get better at. I can do sort of basic aerobatics, loops and rolls and things like that. But I think most pilots can do that. I think it's a question of devoting some time to a bit of formal practice, I suppose, really. I think it's the thing that you really need to pay pretty close attention to.
Right.
So you don't just want to go off and learn by trial and error, although lots of great people did, but then there's lots of great people that didn't, or rather lots of people that aren't anymore.
How much time do you spend with your Iron Maiden job and your Astraeus job?
Well, when I'm touring with Iron Maiden, then obviously I'm touring with Iron Maiden. And when I'm not touring with Iron Maiden, I fly full time. So, for example, by happy circumstance, 2 months of a world tour this year was spent in one of Astraeus' 757s. And the remaining 3 months of the tour this year, well, 5 weeks of that was my leave, and I took a bit of leave in the other 2 bits and bobs, and I've been able to tour a little bit as well. So, in actual fact, I've been able to manage to hold down an airline job and still not have it impact either. Then when we did a round the world trip around the southern hemisphere in particular, in our rather uniquely configured 757 Combi, which we managed to get modified with Astraeus' assistance and ATL and Lasham. So we're planning to do that again at some point. It was quite a successful idea, quite a successful trip. And yes, in those circumstances, then I fly them around. We did actually charter the aircraft as well to do a show we did a show in Moscow, and we had all the band, the crew, and wives, families, and we flew everybody out of Groningen in Holland, where we just done a festival, Moscow, and then back in. So I was.
And when did this love of aviation happen?
When I was about 5 years old, I think that's my earliest memory of it was at what was then Finningley Air Show, and seeing lots of Cold War heavy metal flying around at probably illegally low levels now, when there was no health and safety and no people in little yellow jackets, and people used to overfly the crowd line and come in inverted at 600 knots in lightnings and things like that. I didn't end up started flying until much later. I was 31 or something, 32 when I started flying initially, and thought, well, I must have been daft not to do it earlier, but that's the way of the world, I had a few other things on